Hi, everyone. My name is Marissa Stone, owner of the Systems Lounge and host of the brand spanking new Women's Biz Systems podcast. And I want to welcome you today to the 2019 Premier International Women's Business Systems Virtual Summit Speaker Spotlight Series, where you get to meet and greet many of our coveted speakers and learn all about them on the level that is outside their normal everyday routine. And inside this summit, our goal is for you to learn from the best while supporting women coming out of domestic violence. Get ready to skyrocket your income, multiply your productivity, and magnify your impact automagically. And inside this Speaker Spotlight series, we are talking with those speakers who are inside track 4. So the link is above in the description and also in the title. And if you go to the agenda on that page and you scroll down where you see track 4, these are the speakers that we are talking to this week. And I am super stoked to have Brielle Cotterman here. She is talking with us inside the summit all about utilizing your story to really build your visibility. And one of the things that she talked about prior to us coming on this conversation to get to know you a little better was this idea that once you share your story, you can actually impact media decision makers. Brielle, I'm so excited to have you here and talk about this.
Hello, Marissa. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me, and I'm so excited. We're talking about my favorite topic here of all time.
Okay, so how in the world does sharing my story allow me to impact media decision makers? Now, when we're talking about media decision makers, we're talking about those people who decide what's going to be on the news and in articles, and right? That's what we're talking about here.
Okay. So think about a media decision maker. I always have my clients think about them like a gatekeeper. Okay, right. So we're talking about here contributors. We're talking about journalists, editors. Those people, like you said, that are technically making the decisions as to what's going to be seen, what's going to be printed, and what their audience is going to be able to put their eyeballs on, basically.
Nice. Okay.
And those people are the people that we want to have a big impact on, other than the people in our audience, and of course our prospects and clients, and the difference that we hope to make in the world. So these media gatekeepers, okay, these decision makers, they hold the key to us reaching an even broader audience, growing our impact, increasing the number of people that we're able to make a difference in their life. So these are super important people for us.
Yeah.
And so I ask my clients to think about it this way. If you are a decision maker for a media outlet, you are looking at stories all day, every day about someone's professional accomplishments. You know,
right. All day long, every single day, you get what? Thousands of pitches, I would imagine.
Hundreds of thousands. I'm not exaggerating at all. Some publications will get hundreds of thousands of pitches in a week's time. So-and-so, I was the best at this. So-and-so was top 10 of that. And while our business accomplishments are important, we have to remember it's perhaps the most important thing you can remember when it comes to pitching the media, that you are pitching to a person. You are pitching to a human being.
Right.
And that human being, while they might respect your content, respect your accomplishments, they're going to have a connection with you based on your story. Because they like you and I, they are just like those people who are in our audience. They are wired the same as you and I. We are hardwired for community, and we are hardwired for connection. So when we hear a person's story, a story is an easy way to teach, and therefore it allows someone to create a connection. It honestly reaches from a biology perspective, reaches a deeper level in our brain than just facts or statistics.
Yeah.
So it allows that media gatekeeper to fall in love with you. And so sharing your story and really leveraging that story as to why that story is a part of your business, why that story is a part of you, and how it correlates with your business success instead of just listing those business successes.
Yeah. And I love how you say share that piece of your story. I think one of the reasons that you and I connected so well and why you were invited into the summit was because this is something that a lot of people struggle with, myself included, right? How do I align my story with what it is I'm trying to do and how I'm trying to empower my audience? And really coming up with that formula. And that's one of the things you talk with us about inside the summit, but really coming up with that formula of how you're going to marry the two is crucial. And what I'm hearing you say is the minute you hit that, the minute you get that down, that's when you begin to really be able to impact those media decision makers, which is brilliant.
Absolutely. And that's when, that's when your impact really skyrockets across the board, Marissa, because that is when you've done the self-reflection. Like, there's a story that's bursting out of you that you have to share with the world. I'm telling you, I work with entrepreneurs all the time, women who have a story, have a purpose, but they're not sharing it, or they don't know how to share it, but they know that it drives them. So if there's something inside of you that drives you, if typically it's a major transformation that's taken place in your life, if that's driving you forward, if you feel it and you know it from day to day and you're not sharing it with your audience, you're really doing a disservice, not only to yourself as a professional, but also to the millions of people that need to hear that story to be inspired by it.
Yeah. Yes. And I love that you put it that way, right? Because that's why we're here. We're here to make an impact. We're here to change lives. We're here to inspire others and empower others to accomplish their goals. And if my story, telling my story to even one person can make a difference for that person, oh, I'm 100% there.
Certainly. And here's one of the other things that you have to remember, okay? If you think that telling your story to one or two or three people might help them, I guarantee you there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that need to hear that story. We have a tendency not to give as much value to something that we've experienced because it's mine and it's yours, but it is 100% an opportunity to bless others and to inspire them and to allow them to get to know you at a soul level, to get to connect to you at a heart level without oversharing, of course, breaking it down and telling the gist of the story in a way that allows you to communicate why you're doing what you're doing without saying, hey, this is my why.
Wow. I love it. I love it. That is absolutely brilliant. And speaking of getting to know you, I want to invite you into our hot seat. I want to take this opportunity to ask you a number of questions. And I just want you to come up with the first thing that comes to mind as we're going through these. These are going to be kind of rapid fire questions where the audience can learn a little bit more about who Brielle is and what you are offering the world. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's do it. Okay. What is your favorite food?
I love cheese, but I never ate cheese when I was growing up because the only cheese that I was exposed to was American cheese.
Right.
And now as an adult, I love really nice cheese, and aged cheeses and all of that. I love them with fruit. Of course.
Yeah, of course. Oh my gosh, that sounds brilliant. Now you're making me want cheese. What's your favorite beverage? What's your favorite beverage?
I'm a big water drinker.
Oh yeah, me too. Gotta have my water. Okay, what about your favorite season of the year?
Fall. I love fall.
Yeah.
I like warm weather, so I don't particularly like to be cold. I live in Kentucky on a horse farm, so fall is so beautiful here. And, in the mornings, it's in the 50s. And so it's crisp and the sun shines and the leaves are changing and it's my favorite.
Just beautiful. Yeah. Okay. The systems queen can't let you go without asking you this question. What is your favorite piece of technology?
Now, I'm not a techie person like you. Know that that's your deal. And of course, my business couldn't operate without technology. I use my email all the time. I am on my phone constantly. I communicate. I have support staff that lives all over the world. And because, being in publicity and PR, I have support staff in both Manhattan and in LA. Yeah. Because it's the hub of everything that's going on. So, there's no way I could survive without my cell phone.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Are you a morning or a night person?
Oh, I'm a night owl, 100%.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. I get my second wind at 10 o'clock and every year when my children start school, I think, well, this year it's going to be so much easier. Like, I'm just going to get used to the routine. I'm up early every morning just because of the horses and living on a horse farm and so forth. But I'm also a huge fan of naps, and it's like big self-care. But yeah, and my is way more, far more intense at night.
Wow, I did not think that about you. I guess the horses made me think you would be up early in the mornings and stuff. Obviously you are, but
So
yeah. Okay, what about gold or silver?
yellow gold. That's
Oh
yeah.
yeah, for sure. That's my favorite too. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Yeah.
Milk, though. I try not to. It feels almost too heavy in the morning. Since I'm not a morning person, I don't love to like eat or drink really or talk.
Right. Yes. Note to self: do not schedule a morning meeting with Brielle. Okay. What about chocolate or caramel?
Oh, chocolate for sure.
Yeah. iOS or Android?
iOS.
Okay. How about what is one of your weird quirks that most people do not know about you?
Oh my goodness. I am a fanatic about. I don't know if you've ever done the workout of Pure Bar, which I don't know.
Oh,
It's like it's kind of like an addiction for me. Because it's so, and I think that's the reason why I love horseback riding so much and why people love horseback riding. When you go to Pure Bar, you have to be completely present
yes.
and 100% into it. So not necessarily a weird quirk, but definitely one of my quirks, because I'm like, if I miss it, then I get a little bit in a bad mood.
Yeah, you got to have it. Okay, what about one of those bucket list items that you have not yet completed?
Okay, so I am a champagne drinker. That's really like, water and champagne. That's really the only alcoholic beverage that I take in. A little bit of wine now and then, but I want to go to Champagne, France.
Oh, that would be fabulous.
Yeah. So, you can do the vineyard tours and all of the champagne tastings and so forth. And so I want to go to Champagne, France, and to go with my husband and take my kids too.
Oh, that would be brilliant. Oh my gosh. If you decide to do that, you have to send us plenty of pictures.
I will.
Okay. My last question to you is what motivates you to show up for your audience and help them pull the story out of them that you know is there?
It's my own. It's because I live the exact same thing that my clients are going through. I live the exact same challenge, the exact same internal struggle, knowing that I have more to give, knowing that I'm made for more, knowing that I can make an impact and help people with their business, but knowing that it's really helping them with their soul and with their journey that feeds me. It drives me, and it's like I said, and like we talked about with our stories, knowing that I can share my story and write an article and literally have an inbox filled with thousands of messages saying, thank you for giving me some level of understanding because I'm going through the same thing.
Yeah.
And that motivates me every single day.
Yeah. And I love, love, love that you say that. I think it is so crucial that each and every one of us find kind of that passion place. And I'm hearing this over and over and over from all of the speakers inside the summit that you really did find that thing that just fuels your soul, right? And for you, it's pulling the stories and it's putting them together in such a way that, women or whomever you are working with can make a difference in their lives.
Absolutely. And it's really being able to coach them through that process of unearthing that breakthrough story, because a lot of times it's there, but a lot of times it's buried, or a lot of times it's there, but there's some shame around it, or, there's lots of feelings. And there's also that feeling of fear. Oh, I don't want to be criticized, or fear. Oh, what if this doesn't resonate with anyone? All of those things. And so I really help people to unearth that story. And then once they get really solid with it, use it as the most powerful business tool that it is.
For sure, for sure. And I love that you do that. I think the first time I shared my story, I shared it with my email list. And I had one woman who responded, and she was just, she could not believe that I shared that. How dare I dump that on, you know, on her and the other followers in my email list. And I thought to myself, this isn't about me.
Oh,
My story could have been anything. For whatever reason, on that day and that time, she felt the need to just, you know, totally dump everything. And
yeah, that was about something that was going on in her life. Yeah.
That was, yes. But I also think just this is how I feel. Obviously, I have not talked to her. I invited her if she wanted to unsubscribe and, you know, and wished her well and whatever, you know, but I think it also probably hit a nerve in such a way that now she's starting to think to herself, okay, well, I have a story. I have something to tell.
100%.
And it's actually okay that I share it, right?
And she's not okay with that. She's not okay with accepting that own power that's within her. And so that's where that resistance comes from. And that's okay. And I tell people that, you know, when you claim your story, you claim so much power along with that.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing about it is that our stories are typically very polarizing, and it gives you the opportunity to let those who are inspired by you just draw even closer to you, and those who are not your clients, they're not your audience, they're not your prospect, to fall away.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's a crucial component to everything we do inside business, for sure. Brielle, thank you so much for coming on here, hanging out with us. This has been so much fun getting to know you better. Guys, definitely do not miss her session. She is inside track 4. Recall that the link is in the description and also in the title of this event. Go over to the page, scroll down to track 4, and take a look at some of the speakers inside that track and determine whether or not sharing your story is one of those things that you need to do in order to continue to systematize and scale your business. Brielle, it's been such a pleasure yet again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marissa. It's always so wonderful to talk to you.
You too. Guys, we will see you inside the summit and also inside the next speaker spotlight. Bye, everyone.